Yo, 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 yo! What's going on? This is On the Dot Line, another episode of On the Dot Line podcast, On the Dot Line show. Welcome, it's your man, Deshaun Lyons, and this is
Marquise Taylor.
you already know. So we got a special episode today. Of course, we're going back into the game inside, but it's gonna be a serious dialogue about the gaming. You know, this is a subject that everybody can dive into, all ages, to all genders. Everybody can dive into this, whether you want to call it a debate, a dialogue, whatever you want to call it. You know, everybody can chime in this debate. So the episode is called Retro Games versus the New Age Games. Which era had the best games? Or are there or is it even a competition? Um, how have games evolved? Is too real to the point that it takes away of that great gaming experience feeling? Is it too real? Like, what is it? We're gonna dive into it right now. So so I was going through the games, the old school games, man, and Key show. Them old school games give me that good feeling again, man. That feeling playing like Perfect Dark, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, Mario Party. So many different games. Final Fantasy, Mortal Kombat, Tomb Raider. All like you could go back to No Mercy, WCW Revenge, Warzone, Attitude. God dang. And the Maddens back then was good. Like Keith, what games like like as far as like the top 5 games all time could be new era or it could be retro games. What is your top 5? You could just name it off the top, like top 5.
Damn.
Like the games that I was just like, man, this was like so much fun. Like I could just play this for hours.
Well, for most of my list, I'm gonna have retro games because it's about.
All right, let's do that. So we're gonna do a top 5 retro great games and a top 5 new age games for you.
And this is a personalized list. Damn it! So for me, I would say Parasite Eve for PlayStation 1. I would say Tenchu Stealth Assassins for PlayStation 1.
Damn.
Final Fantasy 7, PlayStation 1.
Okay.
Tekken 3 for PlayStation 1. And
that was the truth.
Yeah. Now for the last one, I got to think about it because the ones that I named, the first 3 that I named, I would not be a gamer without those. But if I had to pick, I would probably say, I don't know, Pokemon Silver version.
Okay, for Game Boy?
Mm-hmm. For Game Boy Color. Yep.
Yeah, you're a little on out and you're a little lagging, but we're gonna try to work with it. So everybody, he's a little lagging. Don't worry about it. We'll get it fixed. Yeah, Pokemon for Game Boy. Yo, all the versions, like back then when we was in school, like everybody wanted that. It was a time that everybody wanted that. Like even my aunt had it. Like that was one of like the top 10. That's like probably top 10 all time games for me because everybody wanted that, and it was like then you can battle, you can trade. That's kind of like the first. If I'm mistaken, was that the first like trading game? Like you were able to trade with each other? Was that the first game?
To my knowledge, yeah, because I can't think of another game unless you want to talk about like but even Tamagotchi. You remember them little handheld Tamagotchi games? The little Digipet games?
The Gigapets? The Gigapet? Oh,
Gigapets,
yeah,
that's what it was.
That's true. Gigapets, yeah.
But I don't know if you could trade those. I think those were specialized just for one person, but I think you're right. I think Pokemon might have been the first game that you could link your Game Boys and Y'all could trade Pokemon like that at the Pokemon Center on the game.
Right. Still a little lagging.
Oh, it's
Um,
lagging.
yeah.
Uh oh.
See if you can see you can X out the stream and then come back.
All right. Hold up. I'm gonna jump out and jump back in there.
All right. So in the meantime, I'll do my top five. I do my top five. I'm gonna do retro games because I love like the old school retro games. I love it. I love it. I love it. So my top five. So I'll go from the bottom up. So five on my list, I would say Madden 64. That's like one of my all-time favorite games. And I'm a big sports fan. Big sports fan when it comes to it. Wait, hold up. Keys is back.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better. That's much better. So I'm doing my top five right now. So I had number five, Madden 64. Madden 64, man. Because like I said, most of my games are sports games. It was so fire. Madden 64 was so fun. Doing retro games. Madden 64 was so fun. Like one of my like first sports game I really started to understand. Madden 64. Number four on my list, I would say Star Fox 64. Gosh, I just saw it recently. Star Fox 64. Those one of those games that you lock in. You lock in and you get to it's just like I used to always use Slippy. Slippy was my guy. Slippy always uses Slippy. Yeah, I always uses Slippy. And yeah, that's number four on my list. Number three on my list, I would say Mario Kart. Mario Kart, like one you can people still playing that now. It's just one of the best ever for that. Mario Kart, of course. Number two on my list is number two on my list. It's like it's close. It's close. Man, that was difficult because Perfect Dark. I like Perfect Dark is one of my favorite games ever because, but I like to play with other people.
Mm-hmm.
I like to play with other people. It's fun when you playing with other people. The missions was hard as hell. They was hard as hell. Um, so I would say it's between Perfect Dark and Smash Brothers to me. But I'm saying Smash Brothers for GameCube though.
Classic.
I think Smash Bros. For GameCube is better than the Smash Bros. For 64. So it's between those two. But I want to say Smash Brothers for GameCube because I was, like I said, I could play that by myself or I could play with anybody. So Smash Brothers for GameCube. And number one on my list is Madden 2005, the greatest, not only my opinion, sports game ever, the greatest game ever because it literally had everything. You know, the hit stick was born. People don't understand. The hit stick was born. It was born. It changed the complexity of all sports game. When you hit that hit stick and somebody fumbled, them hard hits, crazy. Then they had the added layer to the franchise mode. Crazy, crazy. The game experience was so crazy. So that's my top five retro games.
That's a that's a damn good list right there. I don't know nothing about them sports games. I ain't got no business in that arena. I'm the story game dude. I'm just driven by if it's a good story, I'm with it.
So
And
wait,
that
wait. So what games had the best story? It don't matter retro or new age. What games had the best stories that you played?
well, it's one that I did a little piece on. I kind of do want to go back and redo it. When I did the episode about The Last of Us,
Yeah, I
The
keep
Last of
hearing
Us
about that.
Part 1, I would say for a current game is just very well written because that's another thing with these new games. They're moving more so into it's more movie like. So it's more like
Right.
just an interactive movie, but the way the characters are written, the way the story is written, everything just flows real nice and it's interesting. It's not boring. You actually get hooked when you play it. You're actually eager to see, yo, what happens next? Damn, I can't believe they did that. damn, this person died. Now how they going to be able to get this? And
Right.
it was just a great story the way that was put together. And then they
No
did the
Resident
HBO.
Evil?
Resident Evil was good too, but the problem is Resident Evil runs too long. Like there are a
Okay.
lot of games with good stories, but they keep making continuations to it.
Okay.
Again, Resident Evil isn't bad, but it's the same thing as Metal Gear. Like you got too many entries in the series. And mind you, both of these
Okay.
are great franchises, but few games have hits and miss. It may veer off in the story to where it's like, the hell does this have to do with anything? But yeah, I'd say Resident Evil and Metal Gear, they haven't done too bad over the years, even though I know Resident Evil is still ongoing and unfortunately we'll never get a proper Metal Gear game moving
I
forward in
think
the
Halo
future.
had the best storyline, in my opinion.
Halo's good too. I mean, I'm not really a Halo head, but I've kept up with a little bit of the lore. It definitely is interesting with
Yeah.
like the stuff that they go through with the swarm attacking and everybody having to come together to fight that, and like that's a crazy story. They got ancient humans in there and everything that they talk about, and Halo's a crazy story.
Right. Like I remember like Halo had a good storyline. Because those games that you have to be able to like you have to be able to like beat like go at different stages and stuff like that. I was more so the gamer, the more so like sports and stuff like that, like doing franchise mode, story mode, even for wrestling. Wrestling had the story mode joint going there. But like Halo come to mind. Final Fantasy,
Which
Tomb,
one?
Final Fantasy 10. What was it? 10? Final
Because
Fantasy
all
10?
because
Huh?
because none of them Final Fantasies are connected by story. It's really about 16 Final Fantasies because the new one is coming out. None of them shits are connected. Like none
That's
of them are
crazy.
connected.
So they made it all different. Like,
It's all different stories, but you get like certain things in Final Fantasy games stay. Like the chocobos. Everybody knows what the hell a chocobo is. It's a big ass chicken that you can ride. That's referenced in every Final Fantasy game. It doesn't matter what the story is. You see a chocobo, that means somebody's riding it like a horse. Like certain things just stick, even with the summoning system. You'll see, I don't know, Bahamut, like that's a staple of that series. You'll always see a big ass dragon named Bahamut, or it'll be an airship, or that name will just be referenced in some way. But other than that, for the most part, none of those games are connected. Every Final Fantasy
that's
you see is
crazy.
different.
And that's unique. That's why as a programmer, I knew that had to be hard to be able to like to make those games like not connected to the story and then be able to add new layers to it. So I know that. So let's just dive in deep into this whole debate now. Let's dive in deeper to that. So you have online gaming and you have multiplayer. Even though you can do multiplayer with the new games today, you don't see a lot of people going to nobody's house playing multiplayer. Which experience is better, playing with people online or playing with people like people going to your house playing that multiplayer? Which game experience is better? Because to me, I'll say it first before you listen to that. I would say uh, the multiplayer is better. You play that Mario Kart where everybody, four people in the house and shit. Y'all getting people waiting in the sideline to play. That was fire. Um, like it's just people coming together, chilling. Like you had pizza in the house. Y'all partying. Like y'all, everybody interact. Everybody just waiting. Everybody waiting to play. Whether it's wrestling, you play. I remember the No Mercy games where we had the fatal four way. You had to play that joint. Then you had GoldenEye. Oh, Perfect Dark. My goodness. When you go in the crib and y'all getting together playing a Perfect Dark and somebody dropped that M bomb, like those was legendary moments. That is just it's totally different than going online. Online, there's people just talking crap that you don't know. It's people from Antarctica talking crazy in a damn igloo, but you don't. it's just different. You know, it's different. Don't get me wrong. Online is dope too because when we ran the 2K, all the 2K tournaments, when I had my homies that I knew personally, we was beating people. That's dope. That's dope. But it ain't nothing like that experience like Smash Brothers for GameCube. Y'all rocking out on that. You know, Mario Kart, Mario Party where you have to beat these missions or whatever. I know we had it was just it's it's just a different experience when people come to your house and y'all vibe and now y'all eating pizza, you know, music playing. Um, you know, there's even when you got a little bit older when you was an adult, like you know, get the you know you want to get your little
Get your
vape
drink on.
on. Drink on. I said vape. It wasn't vapes back then, but you want to get your little smoke on. You want to get your little drink on, sippy sip. You dominoes and you just vibing. It's like a different experience when you have people in the house playing these games together, which is so dope that we used to play for money. Like it was fire. Fire.
Four
Wait,
shots.
and I wanted to take back something. I want to take back something for the what's the name? I got it wrong. I want to switch smash. I mean switch Madden 2004. That's going to be number 2. Number 1 is NCAA 2014. Best game ever. That's
Dang.
that's still kind of, is that still retro? Yeah, it's still retro, right?
I
No,
don't.
it's not.
It's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit more updated. So I
Okay, then I'm not gonna put it in there because I think retro era is just like 10 years or more. It haven't been
yeah.
10 years yet,
I
but
would
yeah.
say it would have to be like PlayStation 2 or further back, maybe.
Oh, okay, because
If
that was
I had to
360.
guess.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, those games, yo, you just when you playing the games together, homies coming to the crib or whatever. Even you can play with shorties. I know there's women that was playing Mario Kart. They was playing these games, Pokemon. It was dope, man. So what you think? What about you? What's better, the online experience, or the multiplayer experience?
I'm going to have to agree with the multiplayer because it's definitely a better social experience when you got people at your house, people you know, y'all kicking it, y'all gaming, you playing, you see the expression on somebody's face. They getting upset and you trying not to laugh. You know, when somebody getting their ass whooped or something, they got to sit up like, all right. They sit up closer to the screen with the game with the controller in their hand. Like, yeah, I'm whooping his ass. He a little
Like it's
upset.
gonna make a difference.
Like, all right, I ain't going out like that. And the shoe be on the other foot too. But I mean, those are better experiences. But I think online gaming definitely has its place. But experience wise, I don't think it's messing with multiplayer. Like you said, yeah, you could connect with people that you have never connected with before, which is a plus in some cases. And you could just have like, since I know online, you have more, you can run more than just, you know, like 4 people, like how it used to be, like how everybody just had, like, you just had the 2 controllers or the 4 controllers. Online, depending on what you're playing, it'd be like 16 people on one team now. It'd be like 10
Yeah.
people on one team. Like if you're doing like Call of Duty or something big or whatever. But yeah, you definitely do meet different types of people. Uh, and you still do kind of get that experience of somebody getting upset. For anybody that plays Call of Duty, you haven't lived until somebody called you the N word. It's the best
Oh
feeling in
yeah.
the world that you got
All the
somebody that
time.
mad.
All the time.
I got
They
you that
say they
mad.
say with that they say with that heavy R too.
Can't stand you. Yo, it'd
Right. They
be
say with that heavy R
hilarious.
too.
hmm I mean,
So
that's the downside though to it. You get dumbasses online like that, but when you get the good people, you get good people, you have a good time. But yeah, multiplayer, people coming to the house, y'all kicking it, much better experience.
yeah. People gonna be upset, but like I said, this is a dialogue, and some people that's in this new age era, they didn't experience that. Even though you could do multiplayer, but they so caught up online, they don't even have to go to nobody's house, and not that's just another way of keeping people away, and making more people more of an introvert because the introverts back in the day was still interactive because they was you still had to play with somebody like back then it was like that introvert that what we want to call him a weird dude or a weird girl. They'll be like, well, I got this video game you want to play, and they'd be so happy to play the game with you. So but they interact then. That introverts interacting with that person because that person gotta be present with them in the flesh. But now, how games is now being online, an introvert is even more introverted and is even more like socially awkward because they don't have to be able to. They only exist in the game. That's the only way they friends. They only exist in the game. They're not so you don't even know this person's even real. This person could be a bot farm or something. But where it could be like a bot simulator that just became your friend because now how AI is evolving and stuff like that, where people can be able to mimic voices and stuff like that. That can be anybody. So it's like you have a friend that you play a game that doesn't exist in the real world. If that makes sense, this person don't even exist. What's good? What's good? What's good, Liz? We're just talking about retro games versus a new age game. Which um which era had the best games? We
What
talking
up?
about that. But yeah, the multiplayer back in the day it was just fire because people had to come to the crib. But all right, I got Madden and whatever. Come to the crib or the multiplayer games like Smash Brothers, wrestling. Um, you had the car. You had Gran Turismo. You could do four. Gran
Need for
Turismo,
speed.
Gotham Racing, Need for Speed. You got four people. You got four people in there. Everybody in the house, or like that's like the fun thing about it. That's like the fun thing about it. Like y'all physical, y'all in flesh. Y'all building a bond. But how could you build like that bond relationship? You playing with somebody online. That's like you got like a artificial intelligence as a friend. This person don't even exist. This person really exists in the game, which is not even real. You're never going to even see them anymore. Like a lot of people that be gaming with these people that I be seeing online, they never gonna see them ever again. Like never in life. They're not gonna cross paths. Let's say like the real famous people, you know. But back then, you be like, yo, I got Mario Kart, man. Running Friday, $1 a game. Yeah, the homies gonna come there. You gonna have a tournament. The wrestling, you're gonna have a tournament. Smash Brothers, you're gonna have a tournament. Like y'all together, and then the experience of vibing out, the experience of the multiplayer, y'all vibing out, chilling in the house, eating some pizza, rolling a blunt, drinking, just vibing. But
Wherever you go.
online, you just by yourself. And just make you more socially awkward, especially somebody that's not, is a heavy incel. They really not going to communicate. It's better. That's what I said. Is the multiplayer was a better situation. It's kind of like you play Monopoly and you having people come to the house to play Monopoly. So you have so many options. You could play board games while you wait for your turn in the game and stuff like that. But now people don't even value board games or spades or anything and shit like that. So that's what I would say about it. That's the reason why I said multiplayer by far. So you want to chime
Online
in some?
gaming
Yeah.
ain't too bad though. It got perks to it. Like we was talking about before the stream a while ago, like the time that I think it was World of Warcraft where they have like a big community, everybody got on together and one person died in real life. And they literally held an entire funeral for that one person online.
Right.
Again,
They
it
did that
doesn't
for
happen
Takeoff.
often, but
They did that
yeah,
for Takeoff in Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, they did the funeral for Takeoff. But you don't see that's weird though?
I mean, to a degree, but if everybody is so separated and around the world, I think it's a way to connect. I think that is just a way to connect. Am I saying that you should connect with everybody like that? No, but there are some people that do find, somebody online that, keeps them going. Friday night, like you said, they could be introverted. They maybe not getting out, but Friday nights is just lit for them. They get on because they homeboy is on World of Warcraft, and that's just what they do. They could be
Right.
talking about their day up there. It could be helping people along the way, but it is more healthier to, let's be real, you have to go outside, people. At some point you do have to go outside and you do
Right.
have to interact. But
He said, I
it
think it
does
builds
have
a
its
different
place.
level of connection without Dave he put I think it builds a different level of connection without being judged. That's true.
There you go.
Because you don't have to, because you don't have to interact with anybody, and you could connect with somebody through the games and they don't have to see you. So they don't have to, people.
No judgment.
It's like with, it's like oh, you got like putting, for example, and stuff like that. You come over and play the game, and you be like, yo, this nigga, like this dude look funny, man. Like cracking your shoes and stuff like that. So, but when you, but yeah, but if somebody is dope in the game and they just dope in that particular game, and you online with that person, you don't even care. You don't even care how they look or anything. So, um, right. Right. He said keeping people in a positive mindset without the danger of real life. Yeah. Like I said, it does. It especially, and I especially like the I think the online joint started to become really good when Grand Theft Auto started to kick up. With Grand
Oh
Theft Auto,
God.
like, well,
Yeah.
this is the one right here, but
That's
once
four? Oh no, that's five. You
that's
right.
five. But once Grand Theft Auto went like, because I know the sports, like I said again, I play enough of the sports games. So like 2K and Madden, when it was like online, it was like you just focuses on like getting your record like crazy good. Like you just focus on I want to be the best in Madden. So I want to beat everybody over the world. That's what I liked in the online, because I was beating the brakes out of everybody on the block in Madden. I was like, I need to play somebody in the world around the world, and then damn, I'm not as good as I thought. Because it's somebody in the world, it's like you're not as good. So that's one of the perks of that online stuff, because you may feel like you the best until you fight, till you play somebody like in freaking the Middle East or something, and they just washing you, or you play somebody within the states, you play somebody in LA, on Crenshaw or something. You don't got nothing to lose, and he washing you. So that is one of the perks of the online. Also, people can lock in. They don't
And
have to
get better.
necessarily, yeah. So it's I think it's a competitive. I think it's more competitive online than what it is a multiplayer. Because multiplayer, you're gonna be playing people that you necessarily know and shit like that. He said little kids used to be kicking my ass in Call of Duty when I was in Afghanistan. Son, they don't got nothing to lose.
Bruh.
They out there. They don't got
Bruh.
no bills. They don't got. They just locking in, getting better, yo,
And getting
getting
paid.
better than that, and getting paid. Cause you see now, kids right now, they making close to six figures because they using it. Your business opportunities, you make money playing. Yup, now it's more than ever. Now that's how we evolved it. We could just dive in that bag right now, Keys. So game is back, like when you people that was able to play games and get paid. We knew jobs back then or whatever. So do you think? So you think? Well, of course we know the answer to that, but I just want to ask anyway. Business wise, what's better? What gives you more opportunities to make money off of these games? The retro games or the new era games? Like which era get business wise?
Well, unfortunately, it is the new era stuff. I mean, don't get it twisted. The retro game still has a place. It's to this day, you could sit there and play Super Mario World on Twitch and or YouTube, whichever one you choose, and somebody will sit there and watch you play that. But now it's either Call of Duty, Apex Legends, Minecraft, or what's the other one? Fortnite. It's
Fortnite,
one of
yeah.
those. Those are like the popular, most top stream games. Oh, and
He
GTA
said
5.
he said retro bro would be smoking chokers and duck hunt.
Yo, chill, son. Yeah, he
I'm
right.
killing.
Yo, he's right.
You know what? Because it was crazy. Because I remember back in when I used to live in my prospect, and my mother she bought like we bought PlayStation. She bought Pac-Man and whatever. And I think me or Isaiah, we had a high level. My mother played it like that, and then she beat it. So you see, like the era kicks in. Like, oh, I've been playing Pac-Man. I've been killing forever. So I come in, and I think I'm gonna beat it. And she come there, and she beat it because she's from that era when it was Pac-Man, Duck Hunt, and Tetris and all of that. So it was like it's easier for them. Like so, but with us, we'll smoke somebody in GoldenEye. We'll smoke somebody in Perfect Dark or whatever. But we might get smoked by Uncle Elroy in Duck Hunt. He might smoke us. His eye coordinator with the joint is crazy.
Or Tekken 5. I'm
Oh
still looking
man.
for a challenger.
Nah, I can't mess with you in that joint, man. You got me in
I'm
that,
still looking
brother.
for a challenger.
You got me in that. But yeah, like you said, like back in the day, they had tournaments. They had Super Mario brother tournaments back then that people was winning millions of dollars. It was just it's not accessible like it is now, the opportunity. So it was there. You could make money back then playing games. You could actually go to Netflix. Netflix had they have a series when kids was back there playing games, and they to the point that they making so much money they was able to buy their parents a house and shit like that. So, but it wasn't accessible like it is now. Like now we could just go on. We don't need no infrastructure behind us to be able to play games and make money. That's the perfect thing. The middleman is cut out the deal, except for if it's like a streaming, like if we're playing games on a streaming platform. That's the third party. But we don't need Nintendo. We don't need Microsoft. We don't need PlayStation or Sega Genesis. We don't need the infrastructure to pay us to be able to play these games and make money off of it. Now it's super easy, and these kids is making money like quick. Yep, you could do
Yeah.
multiplayer to your phone too. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's so like the mobile platform has evolved to the point that everybody can play. Everybody can play all over the world. It don't matter how many people is on the server. It's crazy now. It's crazy. So the business opportunity makes more sense that the new age. But even though you could make money back then, could make mad money, and I think back then it wasn't popular as well. Let's just be real. It wasn't popular to be able to make money off of play the game. They looked at people like that as he was a square or something. So it wasn't popular. Now it is. So back then you wanted to be a rapper. Now the rappers want to be a gamer.
They doing both.
Right.
They're doing both now. Oh,
Right.
and this is another problem with the gaming industry, period now.
Oh,
Them,
joy. I know
it's
you're gonna
them
say.
damn it's them damn microtransactions. That's another perk of how of retro gaming. Back when video games were just video games. Talking about Street Fighter 2, freaking, like you said, Super Mario World. You didn't have to buy anything extra, any extra content for these games. Whatever you wanted to get or unlock, it was already in the game. All you had to do was play the game, even if you had to beat it, an extra 2, maybe 3 times. But eventually, you will unlock all the extra stuff that you wanted, whether it was
Right.
costumes, extra moves, whatever. Now, and I got to point the finger at GTA for this. Now, I believe in 2013. It is 2023. The game is still running. That's fine. The problem is, since that game has come out, there has been DLC for it like crazy. Cars, clothes, all types of stuff you could buy. You can buy a business in that game. You can own a motorcycle club. You can buy a yacht in that game. But guess what? You got to pay real world dollars to do it.
So Lays, what he's saying, because since Lays in here, there's no there's no Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yet it's coming.
It have not been. This game has came out 2014,
2013, I believe.
2013.
10 years.
So what Keith is saying, they say, okay, we'll keep this game, but you gotta pay for upgrades. So the upgrades is gonna cost you as much as you'll pay for a regular game.
Nah, it'd be more than that. It'd be more than that. All the content they got in there, all the stuff you got to pay for, and you got to pay to go online on that game. So if you want to play the multiplayer with your own created character, you now have to pay for that in order to be able to access that, even though it was free when it first came out. Microtransactions. That is the biggest problem with the new games. That's the biggest problem with the newest generation.
It's gonna get worse with that too. Shit, right? Did he be killing me with that?
See, yeah.
He said, I need the added version. See, back then, to get those added extra stuff, those extra accessories, you just gotta beat. You have to beat a particular level. It takes a long time and it gets frustrating, but if you want to get upgrades, you need to beat the level that you're trying to beat. It could be an extremely hard level. Like, for example, I'm trying to figure out an example. Okay, for like wrestling. So you can't unlock the Smoking Skull belt with Austin unless you beat Austin on expert level. And then you gotta beat Kane and Undertaker in a handicap match on expert level. When you beat them, you get the Smoking Skull belt. Or you have the cheat codes, right? And the cheat codes was not easy to do. It wasn't easy. You had to press A, B, B, C, D, left, right, left, right, left, right. And even when you pressing it, it's still not easy. It's still not easy. It's still not like it's still not happening. Like, for example, y'all played Mortal Kombat. Was it Mortal Kombat 2? To get Noob Saibot, you have to be able to press when you do the uppercut and you see the dude pop up on the bottom of the screen. I think y'all know what I'm talking about.
Whoopsies.
A B B A B B B A. You see how hard that is? But that's your way to get upgrades. Now you got to pay all this money. This is when consumerism implements in the gaming world to the point that you got to buy extra stuff. Like, it gets to the point, I think 2K, you can actually get a job in a Foot Locker store in 2K. In that in the joint. So it's like, it's crazy. It's like because before 2K, you just like you get like a certain amount of shots or something, or you beat the story mode, you get an upgrade on some Nikes and stuff. Now you gotta actually buy it, and the Nikes are the same amount if you buy it in the real world. So it's crazy. The upgrades is killing, and that does take away from it. It says when controller up down, left, right, left, select, start. Yeah, but the thing is, it makes you appreciate you being able to get like a certain player. by putting that cheat code in, even though it's a cheat code, but make you appreciate when you finally get it because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because now cheat codes, oh, I'll just go get some VC points and then I'll pay for it, pay for this particular player, or I'm paying for this upgrade. Or Grand Theft Auto got crazy cheesy now when it comes to like adding guns. Before you had to be able to, for PlayStation, was it PlayStation or PlayStation 2? But for PlayStation 2, you had to actually do the up, down, left, select, select. But when Xbox 360 came, it's like, okay, you just put this button in and then boom, the joint pop up. I'm like, huh? So it makes it easy to not turn into now you got to pay for it now. So it's just like it kind of takes away the suspense of actually accomplishing something. But these kids don't care. They just want things quick and microwavable and stuff like that. But damn, but the parents, man, y'all gotta the parents they gotta pay for a lot, man.
It's only one way to fix it, and that's a part of it. Everybody's not going to be on board with it because, like, you got people like us who's used to the older generation of games, not even just the old generation, but just like you said, playing the game, beating it, unlocking things. You know, we're not used to having to pay for every single thing.
Right.
Like, so a lot of these children in this new generation, like you said, they don't care. The problem is everybody got to stop paying the money. You stop paying the money, that will give all these gaming companies their answer. If nobody's paying for it, they'll stop doing it. But
Right.
nobody's going to stop doing it. So we're going to continue to have this problem, and it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. Because when you have to pay $2.99 for the newest gun in the video game, I'm like, dude, a gun? A costume?
How much was the golden in GoldenEye?
Free. You just played and beat it and shit. That's it. But all these other games,
you gotta beat traveling. You gotta kill traveling on expert level to get the golden gun. Like, come on.
the only games that I would probably say it makes sense in is like a computer game, maybe like Elder Scrolls or something like that. Because for that game, it's just massive. It's a massive ass game. Or not even that. Just create a new game after that. Just do another part to it.
Right.
I don't know. I ain't got all the answers. I don't know, but like all I know is that it's becoming expensive. And when you put out games that are high quality, and I'm talking about, when I say high quality, I mean graphics, gameplay, and all of that. It's a high quality. It's no contest between the graphics of today and how games look back then. There's no contest, obviously, but the problem is it's the substance of the game. A lot of these new games, it doesn't do too much for people. I mean, that's why you have, in my opinion, such a small amount of games that pop like that, like your Grand Theft Autos or your Call of Duties online. But like I was talking about, like that Marvel Midnight Suns, and again, this is a personal thing for me. That trailer, it looked good. Oh, I could play with this person. I could play with that person. They put all these people in the game, the X-Men and all these people and Spider-Man. And then you see the gameplay, it's like,
Not the same.
And I got to pay you $120 or either $70 for that. That's it. I mean, and again, when I say that, it's not to shit on the work that went into the game, because none of that shit is easy. But it just seems like there is something lacking nowadays in games. And for me, it's like I said about why I actually started liking certain games. I like a good story. You can play Parasite Eve There's a very big story behind that.
He said
But
if that's something new coming out.
oh no, that's old. That's PlayStation 1. And that video game is actually based off of a novel. It's based off of a book. So it was a book, and then they continued it in the video game. And the video game was just, again, great story, good characters. It You got to be into the shit. Long
So
story
what you
short,
say? So what you saying is this? You saying that there's not a lot of selections of the new games now because it seems like there's only like close to a handful of games that everybody play. And then there's everything else, but nobody really care about those games.
there's no real substance anymore. Like I said,
Is it because of the is it because of the gamers, the popular gamers out there only playing that, and these kids they just looking at what these gamers is playing? Does that play a role?
it could be, but I more so think that once in a while they do find a formula that just works. Like Fortnite, I personally don't like it, but looking at it, it works. Looking at Call of Duty, it just works. Because Call of Duty Warzone nowadays, all they did was take PUBG, a little bit of Fortnite, and condense all that and put it together in a Call of Duty setting. And that's what they gave you. And it works. Everybody plays Warzone. I personally like Warzone. But when you go and you look up the stats for it and who's playing it, some of everybody's on it because they got the formula right. But
Right.
a lot of these games don't have good replayability. That's another thing. Like it's a game that came out called Forspoken. Again, same problem. It's a single player game, but you look at the trailer for it, you like, yo, that's gonna be lit. Then it comes out
It's
and
not.
it falls flat as hell. Like nobody wants that shit.
Nobody didn't even look for it.
No, because you look at the reviews for it, you look at the gameplay, and you get the story for it. It's like, what was y'all doing? Like, what was y'all doing?
That's why
Don't work.
Dot needed. That's why Dot needs to be in this episode because Dot he plays those games that Dot actually
Yep.
reads. Dot will actually read like the back and description and see what the game is about, and then he'll buy it. Nobody doing that. Nobody is doing that. Nobody's actually reading or whatever. They going by okay, what to do QRC playing? What is Kaiser not playing? Agent. What is all these top streamers playing? And also advertising. People so used to playing those games and stuff like that, they're not even seeking for anything else. Like back then, I could go to everybody's house. Somebody's playing something different. Somebody's playing like I remember, and I had so many people. I went to their house. Like my cousins, they playing Tomb Raider. Lewis is playing Wario on the Game Boy and whatever. Me and Isaiah is playing Killer Instinct and whatever. Tobias is playing Mad 64. Kevin is playing Warzone. He's playing WWE Attitude. Malika Jamal is playing what's that game? GoldenEye, No Mercy, or they playing F-Zero X. Ryan, my nigga Ryan, he's playing
Need for Speed or so.
Need for Speed, but what's that other game? It was another what's it Driver.
Oh, Driver, yeah.
So it was so many options of games people was playing. It was crazy. It was like I just named like a close to 6-7 people. 6-7 people. He said, "What about Roblox?"
Oh yeah, Roblox, yeah.
Lux.
Because you can create your own
Reality.
game in that. You could put your own characters in it. You could create your own game in that. I know the younger kids, man, that's all I hear about. Because back when I was doing when I was working for, I don't want to say the name of the company, but when I was driving that game truck and stuff, they would always request that. If it wasn't Minecraft, that's what it was. So yeah, Roblox is definitely a big one. And they making money off that too.
And I would say this for for the kids that's playing Roblox, I would say this: you want to earn money, go to Sandbox. Sandbox, you create your own reality, and you can earn the tokens, which converts into currency. So you can actually earn real money to create your own reality, just like Roblox. But you can be able to create your own reality. You get to sell. You can sell your game for that particular token as a currency, or you could be able to beat challenges on other people's games to earn that particular currency. So I would give that for the kids out there, or any dudes that interested in that. But yeah, and then you got, and also then, cause before we wrap it up, because it's about to be an hour, but then you got I would say this about the new age games. I do like the interactive games. I do like that. We didn't have that as much. We did have like you did have like little workout stuff. But when the Wii came out and they had the stuff that you interacted, I like that. That changed the game. To me, that changed the game. That was a big plus for those new age games when the Wii came out, and they had the Dance Revolution games. You had the Guitar Hero. You had you had the golf. You had the bowling and stuff like that. Then they kept evolving in that, and then they Xbox, they had the same thing. Now we get into the meta, we get into the virtual reality. I do like stuff like that though, because it's giving you a tip, it's giving you a workout. It's also fun, interactive, and stuff like that, and it's you doing actual movement. So I do like that as far as the new age game. I don't want to like say there's no new ages. They not nowhere near the retro. But I did like that when the week came out, and then all those stuff that you had to move around and play those stuff. That was fire. That was fire. I was like, yo, this is good. So you don't even have to go to an arcade to play those games like that. You can actually set the arcade in your house with the nunchucks, or the little, what's the name, or you can actually have the gun in Call of Duty. You got the gun in Call of Duty and stuff like that. So it's like Duck Hunt 5.0. You can actually do all those things. So I felt like that was like the game changer with the underage joint. You know.
I think I figured it out though. Why it seems like all the new games, well, not all of them, but why the industry feels so different. Because going back looking at the older games, you got a lot of firsts out of all the new games.
Right.
Like all the first person shooter games, like Call of Duty is pretty much the super grandson of like a GoldenEye,
Right.
or even Doom, something like that. Like that's
Yeah.
the distant
Oh,
grandson
yeah.
of that. So you had a whole bunch of firsts from back then. Like, and I'll make one last lap to Parasite Eve, and then I'm gonna leave it alone. That game was like it was like Resident Evil with Final Fantasy. They blended the two together. So it was survival horror and RPG. You play it, you had jump scares, shit jumping out of windows, it really scared you. But at the same time, you can customize your guns, you can customize your armor. So that was like a hybrid back then that came out. Then you got again all the Tekken games that came out, all the Street Fighter games, all that stuff. It improved upon each other, but within a very tight space. Now, the era that we're in is just a whole bunch of copies of everything. And the problem is we're oversaturated.
Damn. Right.
We're
Damn.
oversaturated. It's way too many options. Like me, I got close to 64 games on my Xbox right now. And on top of that, I have Game Pass. So I have access to, well, it's probably somewhere in the hundreds. I have access to hundreds of other games that I can just download right now. Not to mention
Crazy.
the thing that I told you before about the different accounts, because people put accounts on my thing. If I wanted to, I could play those games. So I have access to too many damn
That's the
games,
thing that's crazy.
so I limit
Because
myself.
that's I said you could get so many you have so
Hmm.
many opportunities at other games so quickly instead of just going to the store, you could just buy it on a console and then it's
Right.
easy. So Dave said, what's your guys' thought on Meta World and Sandbox? I That's what I think because what Keith is saying right now, right? He's saying that the gaming industry is coming to a standstill to the point that it's oversaturated. So they just mimicking every version of game. Meta World and Sandbox is going to change all of that. Now, this is the evolution of gaming. Now, the gaming experience that you're actually going to be in the game, actually moving, doing that. That's the I feel like that's going to it's going to evolve the game, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because because everything becomes so plain. Everybody's playing the same game. Everybody is, just doing that. But now getting into this whole virtual reality, this metaverse and sandbox, it changes the game because not only you're gonna be actually like you become in the game, you get to be able to earn currency. Sandbox allow you to earn currency with that. The meta world not only you can play games, you can actually have experience that you probably would never experience before. And it was a book that we read, Future Faster You Think. We was talking about that, but you can actually experience stuff that you never experienced before. They're gonna make meta like a museum that you could go to experience it, even though you should be traveling yourself all the way
To a
to these
actual
spots,
museum.
but they're gonna make it like that. So they're gonna implement that in schools and stuff like that, so it can be so people can experience certain things, and also the meta, like you can be able to have instead of being at work, you be able to communicate through the metaverse at work. So you get to have meetings at work. You're actually there, so you have to be there. That's kind of like little off the topic, but those are the stuff that's going to implement. But for the game experience with the metaverse and sandbox, this is good as far as it's going to help people be able to create their own gaming experience. People need to, like, I think kids now lost their imaginations. It's like no people lack creativity, so that's why it's a select few that make games because so many kids out here don't have no imaginations. But the metaverse and all this stuff, it allows them to use their imagination to create their own experience. Because with the meta platform and the sandbox platform, you able to create your own gaming experience the way you want it. And that's a good thing and whatever. And I feel like that will be the next evolution of games because right now we in a standstill, like he said, it's just oversaturated, and we got over 1 million games, but everybody's playing only 4. So and a lot of these gaming companies is losing so much money. He says Spiral the Dragon.
Damn.
Um,
Classic.
that's a class like a motherfucker, man. That's how
That
like then you gotta
Crash.
you gotta introduce you gotta introduce Diddy to like a lot of these old games. Like
Jet Moto.
introduce into Crash. What's that Crash?
They
What's
had
the name
Jack
of
and Dexter, Ratchet and
um
Clank. It's a
what's another
bunch of them
one?
old
Super
games.
Smash Brothers, like we said, Super Smash Brothers, Mario
Mario Kart.
Party. I think Diddy would like that. All the wrestling games was fire. Um, Perfect Dark, Call of Duty. What's the part? Call of Duty, Perfect Dark. Um, what's like a cool game too?
Banjo
Uh,
Kazooie.
Banjo Kazooie, Star Fox. That's like one of my favorite games ever. Star Fox. Surfboard Kids, F-Zero X, um, Marvel versus Capcom,
Oh
Marvel
man.
versus Capcom, but the original version, you want to get the original version of that. Uh, Marvel versus Capcom, Yeah, he would appreciate those games. It's so many dope retro games. People don't understand that. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. This is the last topic. Keys, retro games versus new age games. What is better? And just be truthful. What is better? Which is hands down better, and why?
Well, damn. Well, I got my favorites in the new age. We got a lot of remakes that aren't bad at all. Resident Evil 2 remake wasn't bad. That's pretty good. Uh I'm not gonna go too into that though, but I would have to say the older games because I find myself going back to them. I will play the hell out of Final Fantasy 12. I will play the hell out of Parasite Eve. I will go back to that PlayStation right now and put on Metal Gear 2, or if I can find it, Metal Gear 1, Resident Evil 1, Silent Hill. I will go and I will, if left unchecked, I will sit here all day and do that. These new games, there are very few of them that I can get on and it won't just be noise. When I say
Right.
noise, if you're a gamer, you know what the hell I mean. Sometimes you don't even enjoy it. You're just sitting there doing something. Seriously, sometimes you're just sitting there, you're playing the game, you're not even enjoying it, you're just doing something. But I gotta go with the older games. I gotta go with the older games. They are definitely better. And you feel more complete when you beat them.
Man, you feel
You
it
get
feels
rewarded.
satisfying, right? With me, of course, Crash Bandicoot. That's what I was trying to say. Crash Bandicoot. That's what I was trying to say, Keith. That it was crazy. It was so many people in the hood that had that damn game, man. It was crazy. I remember David, he was always playing that. David Silver on the block, Zelda, Donkey Kong. Oh yeah, Donkey Kong is one of my all-time favorite games. Donkey Kong 64. We're gonna actually be Dave, we're gonna actually be going to Twitch after this, and we're gonna actually play these games. We're gonna actually play these games on Twitch. YouTube, we just talking about it. Twitch, Pokemon, and
Metroid.
to a Metroid. Pokemon was crazy back then because I remember when it came out, um, it came out the perfect time because we had the cards and then you could play it on, for 64. It was crazy because it was just like that time Pokemon was killing. Zelda was good. Um, like I said, Donkey Kong was the truth, especially the multiplayer joint when you're doing the battles. That joint was crazy. But of course, I'm gonna say retro. But I want to say good things about. I want to say good things about the new age one. My number one favorite game ever, and I played this. It was just so many times. Is NCAA 14. That's a new age game. I was so mad when they stopped creating NCAA, but it made sense because the cosplayers had to get paid. NCAA, in my opinion, that's a new age game. It's the best ever game I ever played because you could do so many things. You could create your own team. You could go online. The franchise mode was off the charts. It was so many things you could do in that game. It's just ridiculous. A Silent Hill. He said Silent Hill too.
Mm,
Silent Hill was dope. Silent Hill.
good
That's
stories.
But
Good stories.
NCAA, that's a new age game. Grand Theft Auto, that's a new age game. Grand Theft Auto, when Grand Theft Auto 5, right after San Andreas came, Grand Theft Auto just took over. Grand Theft Auto is like one of the all-time best games ever. That's a new age game. One of the all-time best games ever. I'm not so good at Call of Duty, but I know Call of Duty is one of the best games ever. Call of Duty is freaking awesome, and people that continue on playing that until it's like it's lights out for us. Call of Duty is one of the best games ever. Halo is one of the best games ever. So many memories with Halo. Is one of the best games ever. Those new age games, it's just nothing. Because going back to Call of Duty, you had Modern Warfare, you had Ghosts, you had it was just so many different versions of Call of Duty that was fire. You know, 2K now the evolution of 2K games, not the Dream class. The Dream has 2K games. I can't get involved for that. I can't. I didn't like that 2K. I was up on live. I was up on NBA Live. But when 2K for Xbox came, over. It was over. It was
That was
over.
it.
It was so I was so done with NBA Live. I just couldn't believe 2K. It was 2K. It was 2K 2K was it 2K9? It was like 2K9 or something. It was over. It was literally over for NBA Live. I just couldn't deal with it. I was like, and NBA Live tried to come out, and then the worst NBA Live. And NBA Live was good. One of the best NBA Live games was NBA Live on 2004. I think it was Chauncey Billups on the cover. I think it was Chauncey Billups, and they had a good what's the name? They had a lot of good basketball games. But I just want to say good things about the new era games. But retro games by far, retro games, they just have so many games you could go back to, and you can play all these games, all these retro games, different versions of retro games. You could even go back to Super Nintendo and play Killer Instinct. You could go back to Sega to play Sonic and Tails, Sonic and Knuckles. You could play all these games. And Blitz, NFL Blitz. Yo, I'm gonna play that next. NFL Blitz. Yo, we used to have tournaments in the hood with that. NFL Blitz for 64. We used to have crazy tournaments of that. NFL Blitz. We play so many different games. It was never like games now. You play like when you in the hood with all your peoples, all you're doing is playing Call of Duty for the whole 4 hours, and then you going home. That 4 hours, we're playing No Mercy. We playing Star Fox. We playing Golden Dot. We'll take it back and play Killer Instinct. We'll take it back to play Mario Kart. We'll play Donkey Kong. We'll play Super Smash Brothers. Or if you want to get froggy, let me see where it's at. Where's it at? What I do with it?
You got
Who's
that
getting
Madden.
involved for this? This is my second best favorite game ever. Madden 2005. This when a hit stick was born. This game is golden. You'll play this. This what you'll play. Or you could play Game Day. Game Day was just as good. It was just as good. It wasn't as good as Madden, but you had selections. Now you're only playing one thing. Call of Duty, or you're playing 2K for 5 or 6 hours. That's it.
Or the Division.
Or the Division. You remember the Division?
Oh no, the Division. That's a newer game.
What was it? Well, I'm saying
good games.
I'm saying the retro games. You have selected games that you can play. You're not just playing one game. You're playing a bunch of games. You have a bunch of selections in that 4 hours you're playing. You said, I'm tired of playing Madden. Whatever. Let's play No Mercy. I'm tired of playing No Mercy. We're playing Gran Turismo. Like Hearns, that's all he played was Gran Turismo. He loved the simulation. He loved the hooking up cars and everything. So, but yeah, that's it for this episode. Quick shout out. Follow us, of course, on the Dotted Line episodes. Like and subscribe to the channel and share. And let us know your thoughts or whatever. With Keith, I'm gonna be on mute. Close this out for a second.
Got you. All right, people. We would like to thank you for coming through and watching us, messing with us, listening to us talk about these wonderful games, past and present. But yeah, follow us on the Dotted Line 18 on Instagram. You can check us out on Twitch. And like Deshaun said, after this, we will be hopping right on Twitch. And we're going to be on some retro games. So, hey, check that out too.
Right. So we about to go on. Lays on got Twitch. Lays, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna record on Twitch, and I'm gonna send it to you. You play the games. Follow us on Twitch on the Dotted Line, just how you see it on the Dotted Line on Twitch. We're gonna be playing the games on Twitch. So follow us. Follow me, Trade Digital 33 on Twitch, and also Trade Digital 89 on YouTube. Like and subscribe to my channel for some other content. Of course, subscribe to us. Keith, did you do a final thought?
Oh no. Well, I'll do a final thought. People, people, people. Stop doing these damn microtransactions, please. Stop. Nah, but in all seriousness, man, there's nothing wrong with gaming. Love it. Get involved with it. Of course, everything is in moderation, but have fun. That's all. That's all you can do. And if you want to get on, take it serious, hone your skills in the game. And if anybody is decent at Tekken 5 or even Jump Force, uh, check out Neon Shinobi on Xbox.
All right. That's it for this episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it. My name is Deshaun Lyons, and this is
Marquise Taylor.
We Started Out. Peace out.
Peace.